Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good morning, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great start to your Wednesday. We are joined with Storm Team meteorologist Terry DeBoer and Sarah Flynn, and they're here once again, as we've been doing all week, really breaking down what we're going to be seeing what people are going to be seeing on their commutes during Thanksgiving Day travel. And we've spent a lot of time talking about what people are going to be seeing on the way to their destination, but today we're going to mainly be focusing on what you might see coming back home. And of course, Sarah, Terry, I do want to thank you again for stopping by this morning. I know we have been very, very busy. Specifically, y'all have been very, very busy with weather over the past couple of weeks, but you know, it's good to see that this Thanksgiving we're not really going to be seeing anything too crazy, not anything like we saw last week.
Yeah, you know, we were really lucky. I've been talking to a lot of people so far today, Phil, about just what a difference a week makes, and how had this weather forecast that we have now been flip-flopped with last weekend, it really would have been first responders, emergency management folks, and meteorologists. Everybody would have been working in overdrive. Today, as I looked at the map, I was just struck by, for a November day, how clear it is for all the way from the UP across the bridge, northern lower Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, even into western Pennsylvania and New York, looking at really quiet conditions. And that's just absolutely delightful for this time of the year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, you know, we saw that tremendous snowfall just last week, and we've talked about it in the past on these live streams that, you know, this week, thank goodness, is going to be a lot better for commuters. But I did have a question. Are we seeing any potential changes from that forecast that we've been projecting over the past couple of days? Is there maybe even potential for it to be even nicer out over the next couple of days?
Yeah, we boosted temps today, mid-40s. I upped the forecast high to 45 today. 48 tomorrow, and that's probably a little conservative depending on how long the clouds hold back.
Right now. And of course, I do want to remind everybody that is watching us on Facebook that if you have any questions about your specific route on your destination for Thanksgiving, just drop it down in the comment section. We'll try to help you map out what you can expect on your way down there. But before we get to any of those questions, I do want to touch on just a couple of things. As we mentioned, we're going to be taking kind of a look on what to expect over the weekend and sort of after Thanksgiving. So if we can actually pull up, I believe we have a graphic of what to kind of expect over the next couple of days.
Yeah, we'll start with that. This goes from Thanksgiving through the weekend. And as Terry said, these temperatures are near or even a little bit above normal in those upper 40s. We could even see some 50s as we look ahead to Thanksgiving. So really no concerns there. There is a rain chance that does emerge, and it's mainly going to come in the late afternoon, evening, going to be pretty scattered and overnight. So, you know, if you are commuting around the general West Michigan area, you may encounter some rain, but temperatures will be well above that freezing mark. It shouldn't be any issues as far as icing or not dealing with snow whatsoever. Friday, for Black Friday shoppers, again, rain will be in the morning likely, and then we could see it once again kind of pick up again in the evening into Saturday. But all these rain chances are pretty minor and scattered. The biggest thing I think we'll be looking out for is melting, and we've already kind of seen some of that.
Yeah, the melting, and do watch for that, especially in the early morning. If you have something that has melted, the surface has melted during the afternoon, it really freezes very quickly. And if you get even a little bit of ice still underneath that liquid, or things refreeze, it's like a sheet of ice. And I'll tell you, if you want a perfect example of that, head to the DeBoer driveway. Because getting the mail yesterday, I mean, literally, I had one flyer in the mailbox. That was it. And I almost totally wiped out. And at my advanced age, I tell you, that could have been a hip, an elbow, something like that. So let's just say that I didn't exactly have to go on sick time for something broken. So just be really super careful.
Right, no, definitely. And I think a lot of people are kind of curious about Friday for Black Friday shopping, even though, you know, me specifically, I'm going to be doing a lot of my shopping online. It is still nice to know that...
you can't say that. It's Small Business Saturday.
Right. No, Saturday too.
It feels like my friends tell me they are going to be shopping online.
Right,
no, definitely. Yes, not me at all. No.
If someone were to be shopping online. But we want to get them covered, because Sarah, I know you're a super great bargain hunter. So what's the strategy?
I love Black Friday. I used to say it was my favorite holiday. It's not anymore. But I'm telling you, I always always find the best deals. I do think this Friday is one of the better ones in recent histories. It's going to be warm. We should be pretty dry except for rain, so I don't think there'll be any issues with that. But as Phil said, I think a lot of people are online shopping more and more. So you don't need to, though, this Friday if you want to go out and about.
Yeah, the nice thing is, you know, you have all your, you know, you just kind of picture it. You have all your gifts and you're lugging it to the car. And guess what? You don't even need a coat.
No, you don't need a coat. You're not going to slip either.
You don't need gloves. You don't need a hat. You can just lug it all around with just all your packages.
Right, exactly. And Sarah, you kind of touched on it, that this is shaping up to be sort of a nicer than normal Black Friday that we've seen in recent memory here in Western Michigan. Can we maybe talk and kind of look back at some of the past Thanksgivings here in West Michigan and just kind of how they've played out and kind of compare it to what we're going to expect this year?
Yeah, it's a transitional time of the year. We know the month of November always is transitional. It kicks off what is our cloudy stretch. You know, here in the Great Lakes region, we get some significant cloud cover, and so often November, December, January, even into February can be extremely cloudy. We've been really lucky so far this month of November, even though we did have that really big stretch of snow last week and last weekend. We've had a lot of sunshine so far this month of November. That's not always the rule.
I remember when I interviewed, Terry told me, we don't get a lot of sunny days here, so prepare for the cloud cover. And honestly, I think she was wrong. It's been really nice the last couple of months.
I think you're the lucky charm. You came from Iowa where you brought the sunshine.
But yeah, and the past Thanksgivings, we did have a little bit of a rain-snow mix last year. It wasn't super causing issues on the roads, but definitely a factor. It's been really cloudy, some trace of snow. So I'd say out of the last 5 years, this is probably going to be our best one. Mostly sunny skies and back in those 40s.
Yeah, no, and just checking out the comment section now, we've got a couple of questions regarding travel routes. Jessica, thank you for watching. She's asking about the travel from Grand Rapids to Chicago and just kind of how that's going to play out. Anything she may want to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, so we can kind of give you a look at kind of the currents right now. You see that high pressure kind of circulating over Kentucky right now. That's actually keeping pretty much the entire Midwest dry, or it will be for the next about 24 hours or so until we see those chances for rain. So if you're leaving today, really no concerns at all. Looking ahead to kind of tomorrow, I can put it in a little bit of a future cast here. Yeah, so once you start seeing some of those greens pop up or those blues, that'll indicate rain or snow chances. So we're pretty much in the clear for today. This afternoon, no concerns if that's where you're heading. And then by tomorrow morning, I'd say there's a chance for some light showers over the Chicagoland area, and then they'll kind of make their way across the lake into West Michigan. But I wouldn't say that's going to slow you down a ton on the roads.
Yeah, and it is really nice that, you know, basically the entire Great Lakes looking at weak disturbances, moisture starved, so that's good news, and not cold enough to really engage the lake effect. So we really have pivoted away from that significant lake effect.
We got it out of the way.
Yeah, no, thank goodness.
Good timing.
Yeah, no, and we have another question from Catherine. She's asking about the traveling from Murr, Michigan to Muskegon and just kind of how that's going to be playing out over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I don't see any issues there either. You know, I know, you know, this time of the year I have found myself traveling to northern Michigan, the UP, and had some significant travel issues. But this time around could be looking just a little bit of light rain developing, again, later Thursday into early Friday. And then later Saturday into Sunday is when we'll see our next system come into play. And that one on Sunday has some slightly cooler air. I mean, slightly for this time of the year, upper 30s is what we're forecasting here. Could see a bit of a wintry combination of precipitation, but again, nothing real significant.
Yeah, no, and of course we've been sort of discussing the future cast a lot, but let's go way into the future now a little bit. I know we've gotten a lot of questions over the past couple of days with these streams regarding Christmas. I mean, we haven't even gone through Thanksgiving yet. People are already looking forward to Christmas.
Right.
Maybe we can sort of talk about the potential chances for having a white Christmas and sort of kind of what the history has been telling us there.
Yeah, so we can look at our 6 to 10 today outlook here. I think we will get a little bit more active, but it looks like a lot of rain chances over the next 7 to 10 days. It doesn't necessarily look like we're going to be hit with a lot of snow chances. So even though this is putting us kind of above normal, the area in the green there, not necessarily going to be travel difficulties.
Right, and you know, we talked about, you know, if you were able to see our winter weather outlook for this year, we're in another La Nina pattern, and so, you know, it's really already early in the season shaping up to be very characteristic of that, where you get these just intense intervals of cold generating the intense snow, and then everything kind of backs off of that. And that's what we're seeing now in the trend. The 8 to 14 day outlook this morning had, which takes us through basically the end of the first full week of December, keeping temperatures above average in the Great Lakes region. Not much above average, but above average, which again would indicate precip chances would be rain instead of snow. These La Nina patterns also are really, really historically have potential to generate those intense blasts of cold and snow. And that certainly could happen. It's not going to happen for the next 2 weeks, but certainly after that, there's a lot of cold air that's locked up not too far from our north, and a little bit of a shift is going to shake some of that loose and bring it on down.
And kind of with that, we do have this graphic, which it is somewhat likely that we do see a white Christmas in West Michigan or portions of West Michigan. It gives us about a 61 to 75% chance, that 75% chance further north of our area down towards Kalamazoo towards that 61% chance. So there's a good chance. I mean, we're kind of settling into a warmer, wetter pattern now, so kind of when we get that flip, it's possible that by the end of the month we'll be talking snow again.
And keep in mind, lake water temperatures are still very warm, even though we did have the cold air and the snow last week. Now with this warmer air building in, the surface waters of Lake Michigan are still a little warmer they should be this late in the season, and so we can generate some really significant lake effect snows, as we saw last weekend firsthand, that can come with that sharply colder air settling in. So for me, my gut's telling me this year, I think it is going to be a white Christmas.
Yeah, I'm sure that's very good news for a lot of people, but coming from Alabama, I do not know if I'm emotionally prepared for all of that.
You need
stuff.
one. All your friends and family back home, they're like, Phil, you moved to West Michigan,
Right.
you got to have a white Christmas.
Well, when I first moved up here, every weekend it was 70 in November, and I was like, oh my God, I can get used to this. And now, after this past weekend, I've now realized that
Yeah.
I have, in fact, moved to Michigan.
West Michigan, that's
No.
exactly right.
Exactly. Well, that is actually going to wrap up this latest edition of the Live Desk. I think we got a lot of great information for everybody to help plan out their Thanksgiving Day travel. So I want to thank.
Can we offer one just
Oh, yes.
reminder? We have that Storm Teammate weather contest going on.
Oh, yes.
So
No,
get your
absolutely.
entries in between now and December 21st. 21st is officially the beginning of winter. We want you to guess. We've given you a lot of information scientifically, what we really believe the pattern is going to be like, but you put your touch on it. And if you are, so all of the correct guesses are going to go into an entry to win a $250 Visa gift card. And so again, make sure to head to woodtv.com and get your guesses in. And I'll tell you, we already have 28 inches of snow, so make sure you're guessing high this year.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, no, I guess just kind of touching on that, is there any kind of, like, they should be guessing a little bit higher? I know we're not seeing any snow coming up, but all that snow that hit, is that really going to play into the total number?
Yeah, so last year I looked it up, we had just over 60 inches, which is actually a little bit below normal. I think we average closer to 70.
Yep.
Is that closer to the 70 mark?
72 usually,
72, okay.
72 to 76 is the average.
Yeah, and
Right.
with La Nina this year, it's supposed to be a wetter pattern, but that doesn't necessarily mean snowfall. So I think that's kind of where the tricky part comes in. As you saw, we do have a couple rain chances here in the next couple of weeks. But with that snow, it could be near or even just a little bit above normal. I think it's kind of the trend that the Weather Service is saying, so we can go from there.
No. And then you could win that. You have a chance of winning that $250 gift card. Again, that contest is open from now until December 21st. Well, Terry and Sarah, I want to thank you again for stopping by the Live Desk. This was very informative, and we're actually going to let you guys get back to work
Sounds
and
great.
get started on your own Thanksgiving plans. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day and a very happy Thanksgiving.